pour régler le volume.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Internet 2. Yeah, we did it. Number 2, baby. So it's been a while since I uploaded a video. I believe it's been about a year. And to be fair, that video I last uploaded was recorded about a year before I edited and posted it to YouTube. So it's actually been about 2 years. So sorry. Well, today I thought a great way to come back to YouTube would be with a rebrand. If you have not followed me, now I removed the old name of Owl Scene. It was an old name. I was a different person back then. And the perfect topic to come back with, I thought, with a new name a year later, would be with a little thing called a Quibi. Or Quibi? I don't know. No, Karen, it's not the hottest new street drug. It's the newest attempt to create professional short-form comedy videos on the internet. Let's sit back, relax, and let's get high on these fresh Quibis. I don't know how to say the fucking... With this quarantine going on, I've had more time than ever to consume my favorite pieces of internet media and also decide to come back to YouTube hot, fresh, and ready to go. Like a high school relationship gone wrong, I've grown bored and tired and ashamed to admit that the relationship has just gone on maybe a tad too long. I decided to ditch my monogamous relationship with YouTube, Twitch, Hulu, Netflix, and venture into the exciting world of a polygamous relationship with B-tier internet content. What a perfect way to start with the brand new, hot and fresh app, Quibis. What the fuck? I first heard about the Quibi in February during the Super Bowl, a whole 2 months before the app was actually ready to launch. Of course, as you do, you advertise things well in advance, months in advance before it's ready to launch completely. And I recently saw an ad on some Instagram or something saying that it had launched, it was ready to go, and I was excited to see what that cryptic, god-awful YouTube ad was trying, or Super Bowl ad was trying to sell me 2 months ago in February when the world was not on fire. Just saying, as soon as Quibi started, I signed up as any sane person would do with free time on their hands. I signed up for this hot, fresh new streaming video platform, and they offered me a whole whopping 3 months, 3 months free trial to this A-tier internet content, which totally bodes well for the content that they are pushing out, and totally not banking on you for getting 3 months from now that drunken accident you made, and you'll be charged for a full subscription. Sick play. So what is a Quibi? I assume, I have not looked this up, I have not fact-checked this, that a Quibi is short for a quick bite. Quibi, quick bite. I hope. If that's not what they were going for, I don't know. Everything I know is a lie up until this point, and my opinion is probably invalid. Just a FYI disclaimer. I'm not going to be reacting to the content per se, like live, like a lot of people will. I'm just going to be kind of giving a pseudo review of kind of the app. So maybe eventually I will push out a video where we react to content that you guys want me to react. But there's a shit ton of videos on this damn platform. I don't have time to watch all of them, even if they are all 8 minutes or less. Okay, to be fair, I've watched a fair few. I've watched enough to form I think a safe opinion. And I watched the content I think that most people are probably going to be digesting. So, excuse me, that was gross. Attempting to ride the coattails of a TikTok or a Vine, we have our new venture into short-form internet comedy videos, because everyone and their mother needs a streaming platform to call their own, and also a platform to try to rival the success of Vine, Rip, or TikTok. And the gimmick that Quibi is pushing is that all their videos are 8 minutes and less, and you can view them at either a vertical or a landscape perspective, which is, to be fair, that part is actually pretty cool. But what really grinds my gears is the fact that this is like a selling point, that we give you less content for the same amount of money that you'd spend on your Netflix subscription. Because apparently everyone born 1995 and up cannot keep track of or cannot pay attention to content longer than 10 minutes on the internet, even though, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, on YouTube, actually most content is more than 10 minutes long now for that sweet ad revenue, and also trying to ride just the overall success of TikTok and the cash cow that TikTok has generated overall. So I can see the boardroom meeting now. How do we combine? We see Netflix dominating, YouTube dominating. There's also TikTok, which is these short form, not really a lot of substance videos. How do we merge these two worlds? That's a market that is untapped and no one wants. But spoiler alert, this market doesn't exist. I personally think you shouldn't waste your time on this. When the content they put out, you can just get the same, if not better, experience on YouTube watching creators for free that you don't have to monetarily support, or even TikTok or Snapchat has better content, I would say 80% of the time, with its top creators. Now that we've established a Quibi is a 8-minute or less video with an actual production crew, writers, directors, actors, some A-list actors are a part of this project. This content that they push out is tailor-made to be viewed on your phone. The website pushes you to download the app. There is no Chromecast streaming option, which is majority of how I put my content on the television. You are meant to view this on your phone. But the problem is the content that they're mimicking and they're trying to best reflect is Netflix, which I don't know the average for sure, but I'm sure they average more than 30 minutes an episode, where you could get through three Quibis within that time within that time period. All the content that is being pushed on this platform feels so shallow, half-baked, like they cut out a lot of it. For example, a show that I really actually enjoyed, one of the reasons that I actually did kind of want to check it out when I heard about this project, was a show called Flipped. It stars Caitlin Olsen from It's Always Sunny and Will Forte from Last Man on Earth, SNL, all sorts of funny stuff, both actress and an actor that I quite enjoy, and I was excited to see this. It actually has pretty okay reviews. It has a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb and a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes, because yes, this content gets reviewed and is treated as if it was a TV series. TikToks don't get that treatment. Basically, the gist of this show, it stars Will Forte and Caitlin as Jan, and Cricket, and they have reached kind of a dead end in their careers, and they notice while they're watching a HGTV kind of style show where they remodel houses, this network is looking for a new set of hosts. So they buy this cheap house, $2,500 in the middle of the desert, and they find, while they're in the middle of shooting this pilot, a big wad of cash stored in the walls. They take that money, hire their own production crew, camera crew, tools, and remodel this same exact house in the desert. The mob boss, because there's a mob boss or cartel boss, comes in and was just using this place to store this money to grab it, and he kidnaps them and forces them to basically remodel his place. That's the gist of the show that you need to know in about the length of half a Quibi. And actually, I quite enjoyed the show. The problem I have with this and many other content on the show, similar to the Punk'd remake, which I'll talk about in a little bit, is that the content feels rushed, half-baked, and not quite there enough to hold my full attention or really feel invested at all in these characters. This show specifically feels like it was probably written for a network to be a 30-ish minute each episode series. And the problem is, especially with sitcoms, is that the filler is where the jokes live. It's what kind of makes the show enjoyable. And this show specifically, which really ticked me off, because I actually enjoyed the show, like I've said. It feels like everything kind of is stripped out, and the only jokes that are in there relate to the main storyline plot or are used to push the plot forward. There's zero filler at all. And also, it just goes by so quick that I'm like, good Lord, give me a break. For example, at the end of one episode where they get, spoilers, if you're going to watch the show, at the end of an episode, they get kidnapped, and the cartel boss wants them to remodel his house. I figured, this is going to be a very funny kind of setup where they are trying to remodel this house, maybe try to escape at the same time as trying to not get killed by this cartel leader. At the beginning of the next episode, we have skipped 7 weeks ahead, and the house has completely done remodeled, and he is totally happy, and they're having a party, and they move on to a new main bad guy, which is the step up of the mob boss. And like all in the span of about 2 minutes, this happens. I'm sure the writers felt super handcuffed, or they wrote probably 30 plus minutes of content for each episode that was then cut to fit within this 10-minute or 8-minute window. And at the end of the third episode, I feel like we have skipped through a whole season's worth of content because it's a comedy. It's about the situation they're in and then creating jokes that live within the situation, but the situation never gets a chance to breathe. So I enjoyed it, but it also pissed me off, which takes up, I would say, about half of Quibi's catalog. We have these shows that feel like they're trying to mimic and copy a Netflix or Hulu show. The other half of the shows feel like they are poor attempts at like a Snapchat story comedy. For example, they have remade the Punk'd show, which was a show that I watched as a kid in the early 2000s. So I was kind of actually pretty excited to see this. They had Chance the Rapper take over as the host of the show. And the biggest issue that I had with this specifically is that, again, it's all punchline. So you basically skip over the setup of the joke. For example, in the first episode, they had Megan Thee Stallion be the person who was getting punked. And I won't really go into detail of what they did, but they had a fake animatronic gorilla break out of a cage and basically try to freak her out. The issue is that's all you see. Post setup, 100% punchline. You miss out on 100% of the setup of the joke. So when you're watching it, you feel like, and you're sitting there thinking, I'm watching this as kind of a third party. I don't feel like I'm a part of the joke. I feel like I just kind of skipped ahead in the show, and now I'm watching the end, the payoff, instead of really feeling like I was a part of the joke because I was there from step one. I missed out on the setup, the idea, the setup, and then the payoff. Everything feels very rushed. Like the writers are being forced to fit it within this 8-minute window, because they are. When a lot of this content would probably be just fine, and it looks like it was made and actually have some pretty unique ideas with some great actors and actresses associated with some of these projects that just don't really get a chance to be brought out to its full potential, or they're fitting one episode worth into 3 separate Quibis, which kind of brings us to my next point, is where would you watch a Quibi? Now, to be fair, right now is probably not the best time to be launching a streaming app with the idea is you are out and about and not at home, and you still want to consume content that might be a little higher than a TikTok, or you're tired of scrolling through Instagram or Twitter or Snapchat, and but you don't really have time to sit down and watch a Netflix or a YouTube video. This is kind of supposed to fill that very niche gap. But the issue is, even if I was out and about, I don't know why I would ever choose a Quibi over a TikTok or scrolling through Instagram or Twitter, because if I have time to sit down and watch a Quibi, I would have time to sit down and watch a Netflix show or a YouTube show where the writing is better, everything feels a little more fleshed out. Or if I don't have time to sit down and watch a Netflix show, I still wouldn't choose a Quibi, because it still requires just enough investment and paying attention that I feel like it would be hard for me to watch this in public. Unlike a TikTok, or if I'm on Twitter, where no joke or TikTok requires long-term investment on my part. I can just kind of scroll through and forget about it. I can also enjoy this content, maybe not TikTok, but outside in public without audio, versus this, where a Quibi, I would say for majority of the content that's worth watching, you're going to want the audio also, because it's like a Netflix show. I don't know why you'd watch a Netflix show without audio. Another side point, you can watch every piece of content on Quibi vertically on your phone. You don't have to watch it landscape. I'm talking about all the content that's worth watching. Who is Quibi for? Honestly, I don't fucking know. It's so stuck in this identity crisis of wanting to be a TikTok without really knowing what makes a TikTok popular, or why the demographic that watches TikToks or Snapchat content would find it enjoyable, or what makes it so popular. It wants to be treated as its own media. It wants to be called a Quibi. It doesn't want to be called a video or a movie or a TV show. It wants to be treated the same way that we call a TikTok, or we call a tweet, or a Snapchat. It wants to be its own thing called a Quibi. But the issue is that what makes TikTok a TikTok, and why we call it a TikTok, is that it's its own piece of media. It's its own unique thing that requires its own unique identifier. If I was showing someone a TikTok, I would say, hey, check out this TikTok, so they know what they're getting into. They know it's going to be light on the substance, not really that much different than a tweet. Versus if I was going to show someone something on Netflix, I would say, hey, check out the show on Netflix. But if I wanted to show someone a Quibi, I would say, hey, check out this show on Quibi. This isn't its own unique thing. This is just a show that exists on this platform that is called Quibi. We'll see how long it's around. I would check it out with the 3 months trial if you want to. If they still have that deal going on. Have you watched some Quibis? If you have, put them down. What you think in the comments below. If there's any Quibis you would like me to check out, and I'll make a new video where I just kind of watch some of these, and we can make some goofs, make some gaffes about them. Let me know. Thanks for watching. I also have a Twitch, like every other person aged 20 to 30 years old, or I have my own Twitch if you want to check it out. Links in the description below. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys hopefully not in another year from now. Thank you for watching.